right. Hey everyone, this is Anirban here. I am here again with another episode of the email show. Today I have Kat Garcia. She is from USA and she has been in this digital marketing space for the last 12 years, more than a decade. And she is mainly focused in email marketing. And today we will learn how you can also be an email marketer, and she will share her insights of her decade long experience. And for the next 30 minutes, you are shorted. Don't move from the screen and enjoy this podcast. So, welcome to this podcast, Kat.
Thank you, Anirban. Thanks for having me. Hey, everyone.
Awesome. Could you please talk about yourself? Like, how did you get started in email marketing and overall digital marketing space?
Sounds good. Let me not date myself, but 2012, I became a marketer, SEO specialist for an agency back in California. And then I think around 2014, I was able to get a job in New York, and that's where my marketing career really took off. 2018, I had to work from home. I had my baby, I started my family, and then I went online. I tried to get a job as a copywriter. Nobody cared. Copywriter for SaaS, I kind of tweaked. Nobody cared. Copywriter for e-commerce, suddenly people are noticing. And then I noticed on X or Twitter that e-commerce was pretty big. So I said email marketing for e-commerce, and I got my first job on Upwork for that around 2018. And then from there, now, so for the past 7 years, I've been focusing on email marketing for e-commerce, but now I'm adding SaaS too. So that's been my journey so far in marketing.
All right. So, would you love to talk more about email science? What is email science, and how did you found it, or the story of it?
I just like, to be honest, in the beginning, I like the name email science because I like technical things, and also because I like looking at data from my experience, like even from SEO. Clients love it when you show them data, or like if I do something, like there has to be a reason. And that's kind of a good way for me to do marketing anyway. And also, kind of to, it's like an insurance policy in a way. Like, my client would ask, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And I can always go back to data. So that's how email science is, and that's how I differentiate myself in the market out of everybody. Like, hey, you know what? We send emails, but I am very big on data too. Um, I'm big on research when I'm writing copy, so that's kind of like my all over thing, my kind of like my overarching theme or differentiator for my services.
Mm-hmm. So, do you work alone as a solopreneur, or do you have a team?
That's kind of the weird thing because I I have a team, but we're all contractors. You know, I have done the route of like I had full time employees, but then as you may know, like your some days you some months you have clients, some months you don't in the beginning, and I I have learned the hard way that there was a year, Anirban, when I looked at my taxes and I paid people more than I paid myself. So I learned the hard way that instead of having full time employees, I would work with fellow contractors. They could set the rates they want for every client, and I think everybody's better off that way. So I'm a solopreneur with a team of contractors. I think that's the best way to describe it.
So, do you mostly work with people from USA, or do you work people with across the globe?
It depends on the client. If I have a client, for example, that requires a lot of communication with my team and they need to be like talking at like 10 o'clock Eastern time, I tend to work with like US based contractors. But if the client doesn't care, like async, just give me the emails, then I tend to work with my designer who's based in the Philippines. So it just really depends on the client.
Mm. So, do you remember your first campaign?
Yes. Um, I'm not sure. Anyone, do you send a lot of emails yourself or like for clients? Because like I still remember the feeling, like 100,000 people and then you're gonna click. So I remember it was for a candle company. Um, and I don't remember much about the campaign, but I remember the feeling. I was just so scared. Oh man, it never goes away too. It never goes away for email. The list just gets bigger. Okay, you're sending to 1 million people now for Black Friday, and you are so scared of getting the coupon code wrong, any of the links dead. So yes, it's like it's my first email. It's just like the email I send every day anyway. It's the same feeling.
Mm. So the
Yeah.
first of many, like it's very scary, especially when you are managing the list of, I mean, even if it's 1,000, 10,000, is, I mean, it still scare you. And the second thing is like when you are getting paid for it, and if you make any mistake, the client might dismiss you. That's the biggest thing.
But that has happened. They were just mad. Uh, it's because number one, in a way, they're not my customers. My clients paid to get those customers, so I take really good care of them. But mistakes happen. It has happened, and we just move on. The good thing that's the good thing about email too is you send out an email in about 10 seconds, it's dead because now more emails are coming in the inbox, and it's very rarely that people would a good bunch of people would come back and take a look. So
And the biggest drawback of email marketing is you can't reverse the process. Like on social media, you can delete the post, you can actually edit the post, but on, I mean, if you send the email, done. Like you can't change
done.
anything, you can reverse it. So that's the biggest deal. So we have to be very, very cautious before we actually click to the send.
Yes, I agree. I mean, there is a tool that you can kind of do that. Like you send it out, but you can still change the link. But those are very, very expensive, and not a lot of companies use those. But yes, like 90% of the time, it's gone. You can't do anything about it.
Hmm. So, as you have worked with so many clients, so many brands, what is one tactic that always works for you in email marketing?
Just always be testing. Just test. People might say, okay, Kat, this is best practice. Let's do this XYZ. Best practices, my friends, they're good for starting things, but just don't stick to it. I think that's kind of the one thing that you want to be able to do is just keep on testing. Okay, I start on this benchmark. This is where we start, and then you just kind of have to start because even if you look at your competitors, you have the same exact product, same exact everything, your audience will react differently to your two separate brands. So always test what's best for you.
Mm, that's a good idea because
Yeah.
the more you test, the more you will be able to understand the data point of your audience or customers, and based on that, you can actually make some changes.
Yeah, you do. You'll make mistakes, and when you ask before, what's the worst campaigns you've sent? I have versed to some of the best campaigns doing testing. You just have to manage the expectations of your clients. But if they understand that you're doing this for a reason and you are getting some winners out of it, the insights, then it's worth it. But you just keep on testing. Don't stop.
So, in 2025, there are so many people who are actually moving to newsletter business.
Mm.
Newsletter is a buzzword, and newsletter business is the new way. I mean, people are moving to this media business instead of these orthodox service-based businesses. So, how do you see newsletters in 2025? What makes a great newsletter?
A good newsletter. Let me be honest with you, Anibal. I have a newsletter and I'm so afraid to send it for my clients. I have no problem. I will send it out. I have my own, and I'm scared to send mine because I'm afraid of being boring. For me, a great newsletter is the one that is I look forward to reading every day, the one that has something interesting to say. I don't care how long or short it is. And what makes a good newsletter is if I open it, you entertain me, you teach me something, but you just don't bore me. So, plenty of people say, just send it out every day or send it out once a week, doesn't matter. I want my emails to be so, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm giving notes to myself now, but something that is not boring and something that is not safe to ignore. Like, don't ignore my newsletter. I mean, I should take my own advice, but still, just not don't be boring. That's what it is.
Mm. Because nowadays what's happening, people are not focusing, or people are not considering newsletters as just a
Yeah.
engagement channel or nurturing channel. People are also considering it as as an independent business, right? So when it comes to business, or when it comes to only focused on this newsletter narrowed tunnel vision, it's totally different from what we actually do in when it comes to info SaaS or e-commerce, right?
Yes.
So it's the approach is totally different, right? There are so many people in this particular space, like the founder of Beehive, you can say, Sahil Bloom, Justin Wells. Cody says these people are actually building their newsletters in a different way, and they have built a six-figure business with it.
Oh yes.
So
Oh yeah.
that's the importance of newsletter in 2025. So I mean, what do you do with your newsletter? Like, how someone can get help from your newsletter?
For my newsletter, oh my goodness, what I was originally hoping to do was just give you one tidbit about emails that are not best practices, but things that you can do, to things that you can test out, or like interesting things that I find.
Mm.
So I I need to start. And if when I promote it today, happy emails, I'm gonna start sending. It's putting yourself out there. And I remember we had this um conversation on LinkedIn, and what is the advice for like people to, in email. But one of the things that I thought about is that you just have to put yourself out there, and email is one of them. It's scary, but you just kind of have to do it. So that's one thing.
Yeah, awesome. So, what tools or platforms do you use for email?
It depends on the industry, as you may know. Just like the platform you use for your podcast, right? It's Riverside, and I know some other folks it's a different one. If you're on e-commerce, HubSpot is big. Marketo, Mailchimp. For SaaS, those are big. For e-commerce, Klaviyo, I think as we all know, Omnisend, Mailchimp as well. Um, and then there's Figma. So for new email marketers who are listening, you might think, "Oh my goodness, there's a lot." Um, if you go industry specific, just learn the common tools that they use there. You don't have to know HubSpot or Marketo or anything like that if you're not in SaaS. Start with one, e-commerce, Klaviyo. If in you're on SaaS, start with HubSpot. The principle is the same anyway, for the most part. So learn one well, and then you can kind of transfer the knowledge in other platforms.
Which tool do you love the most?
Clayville, because I live there. I
Because
spend
yeah.
I spend most of my time there. I know it inside out. So, but HubSpot is pretty solid. There are things that Klaviyo can do that HubSpot can do. You don't have to learn all the platforms, but if you're familiar with all of them, it helps because you don't want to promise your client, "Hey, let me do this for you," and then you go on their platform and it can't do it. So it's just good to be familiar with everything.
Mm. So based on the deliverability, based on the sending optimization and all, Clever is
Yes.
the best.
Yes, deliverability is tricky. Just because there's so many things that goes into it. I'm not even a pro in it, and I'm afraid to approach that thing because it gets really technical. But yes, I agree with you. That is one of the best things you have to kind of like focus on. Um, because if you choose the wrong platform where there's a lot of spammers, you're going to be grouped with them, so you don't want.
Hmm. So for your own newsletter, which platform do you use?
I use Kit. I use ConvertKit for that. I was previously on Berserker Mail. That one has the most excellent deliverability if there ever was a platform. But right now I use Kit because now I have all these downloadable PDFs and such. So
Mm.
it really depends.
So do you sell digital products with your newsletter?
Right now I don't. I just send out the newsletter. It's really more for me to practice what I preach. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's just to also have like a way to connect with people. I work on my own, I'm by myself, and it's good to like when I send out an email. When I used to send out the emails, people would respond, and you can kind of form friendships that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amazing. So as you have worked with so many brands and agencies or maybe companies, right? So let's talk about the campaign, or let's talk about the emails which didn't go well.
Oh boy. Um, sometimes for the most part, my clients respect my opinion. I plan out the strategy, but sometimes they would have an idea. And of course, they're the client, and for the most part, what they ask, I do. And in America, I think you're familiar. There's some political things that's happening, and they would say, "Okay, Kat, this political, highly charged political celebration is happening. Let's ride the wave, and let's pick some of our items that's kind of close to their colors or they're close to their message, and do that." I have sent something like that, but when someone try, when people identify strongly with the movement and somebody tries to cash in on that, people can tell if you're being genuine or they know that if you're just trying to make money. I have done that before. Not proud of it, but those types of campaigns really fall flat because people would know pretty quickly if you're with them or you're just trying to make money from them, like a quick buck. So I can't say any specifics because we're gonna get in big trouble. And
All right. So, what was the biggest learning from it? Like to always be transparent.
biggest learning for me was to talk to the client honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can before I'm like, yeah, I don't want to lose you. You're paying me a few $1,000s a month. You're paying for my groceries and everything. But at the end, I put that in my contracts now too, where I will tell you the truth even if it hurts. It's just that I'm looking out for you. Now I'm in a position where I can say, no, I don't think that's a good idea. If you think that this is enough reason to stop working with me, that's fine. But I hope that someday you'll see that I was just looking out for you. So, yeah.
So that's the biggest problem when it comes to client servicing, that clients actually thinks let's do this, let's do that, but they don't
Yeah.
actually realize that we are the one who have done this, we are the one who are doing this as well. So we know
Yes.
what's going wrong or what's going right, or we are actually analyzing the campaign, or we are actually analyzing the stuff going inside. So if you from outside, without analyzing the data or analyzing the market, saying or asking us to do something or install a new system or idea, then it gets really difficult for us, because we actually have a plan that let's go with this for the next 15 days, then we will change the plan. Next again 15 days, then we will change the plan if it doesn't work.
Mhm.
But if something or someone from outside actually gives you some prompt like let's do this, let's do that, it actually hinders the growth, and you can't operate like the way you should.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed. It's. I think marketing is one of those jobs that don't get a lot of respect in a way. Like, hey, Kat, I have a marketing idea, and you think I haven't tried that. I mean, I'm sure someone would go up to you and say, "Hey, I'm gonna start a podcast today, and it's gonna be easy," and you think, oh. I don't know if you've had that. If you've had people like that.
Yeah. So, as you have been working in this digital marketing space for the last 12 years, so I mean, you have seen the change. Like, people actually went from everything manual to everything AI, right? So,
Yes.
what is uh, one email trend you think is overrated?
I mean, you said it. It's the whole AI thing. I have seen people just dump information in AI and then think that would make for a great email. I mean, people can still tell if it's AI, right? People can still tell. And email is a communication tool. I like AI. Somebody said it really well on a video on YouTube. They say, I want AI to take care of my laundry so that
Yes.
I can make music, I can write stories, I can write my book. So I think that for the most human thing, which is communication, people can still tell. So you can use AI. I use AI for my research, for my reports, for a lot of things. But when it comes to writing one person to another, even if I'm sending to 1 million people, no one, when they read my email, it's just one person to another. So I still write it. So use AI to automate the things that takes time, but in my mind, don't use AI to write things. I know some people will train their AI. I know of a big copywriter who said he trained his AI for like 200 hours of material. I mean, great. Like he said, it works better than him. It sounds like him. Good for him. Just personally for me, I don't even want to go there.
Actually, I have a beef with AI, to be honest, for the people who are actually talking about AI, that AI can do everything and anything. But I
Yeah.
have seen this that on social media as well. I own name, but there are so many renowned email marketers, renowned copywriters who are claiming that AI can write like the human. But I have
Mm.
always noticed that AI never connects with me, because I
Yes.
can easily understand that you are writing with AI, because
Mm.
the way an AI writes and the way a human writes, there is a huge difference. Like the
Mm-hmm.
moment you think AI is writing better than me, the moment you lose your own capabilities, and the moment you think like I can't match the AI, also you think that, I mean, you are not here to match the AI voice, or you are not here to do the things AI can do, because AI is a robot and you are a human. You think differently, you act differently, you react differently. So I actually have a beef with those people who actually say that AI can do everything for you, and there are
I
so
know.
many people who are making fool as well, that you can write with AI and sell. That's not going to
Oh
happen.
no, it's we're the same on this one, man. I just don't get it. I mean, I had to scale back AI because in my mind, why am I outsourcing my thinking, my skills to this thing? I use it, but I no, from human to human. Somebody told me on LinkedIn, and I don't know if it's true, that a lot of the people on my DMs now are just using AI. And I felt so unsettled by it because, like, am I talking to robots and I don't even know? But that's not cool. Human to human. Let's keep it. Let's not throw that away. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So what is the one mindset you follow as an email marketer which gives you success?
You have to be consistent with your sending, with your language, with your style. And funny enough, from your email to your website, it has to look consistent too. It's email is like a friend. Imagine if your friend is one way one day, another way the other. You're just gonna go crazy. But if you're consistent on how often you send emails, your style, at least your messaging and your branding, that's going to kind of build that familiarity with your audience. And don't stop emailing. One of the studies says at least send between 36 to 72 hours, at least have that gap at most, so that people don't forget you, because they will forget you even if you email every day. Within a few seconds you're forgotten. So you have to stay consistent.
Mm. So what's your advice to the people who are starting their email marketing career?
Oh, put yourself out there. That's how I started on X, Twitter. I just started writing there every day. Started making videos, and then also when you get your first client, get a testimonial and use the heck out of that. Just like put it everywhere, and that's how you get more too. So don't be afraid. Show up, build your portfolio. You don't have to wait for a new client, by the way, to build your portfolio. Go on Klaviyo, use a template, put your stuff in there. That's your portfolio to start with. So yeah, no, just keep on going. Don't wait. Put yourself out there.
Amazing. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
you have shared for the last 25 minutes, it's really gold. Whoever is trying to become an email marketer, or whoever is trying to get into email marketing, or maybe doing email marketing for quite some time, but they need some more input or inspiration, or maybe more depth in their learning, they
Mm-hmm.
will find this podcast really helpful. And one last ask from you: if you have
Mm-hmm.
anything to offer to the audience, any course or anything you are building and that might help them, please let us know.
Yes. Really, just for if you're looking for like email articles, my LinkedIn is the best place. So LinkedIn, just look me up, Kat Garcia. I have the link to my happy email newsletter there as well. I promise I'll start sending out emails soon. But if anything, feel free to reach out, you guys. I'm always happy to hear from new email marketers, because we do need new folks who are learning and who are supporting the industry. And happy to be of help.
Awesome. So you are saying that you will constantly send the newsletters without judging yourself.
Yes, I promise. I think, Anirban, I think that speaking with you today, that's my cue to start sending. I do need to send it out. I have a few things lined up, and I should just follow my own
All right.
advice.
So send the links to me, like whatever links you want to add, and want to share with the audience. So I will attach those links with, I mean, in my description. And of course, people can check it out, whatever you are building, or whatever way you have to help them out. So thanks for coming today. It was really
Yeah.
amazing to chat with you for the last 25 minutes is going on. So thanks for coming today, and it's really amazing to have you here. And whatever learnings you have shared, it's really amazing. Appreciate your time and efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anirban. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome.